The 328th Infantry Regiment was created in the Great Surge of American mobilization during World War I. Constituted in August 1917 and organized at Camp Gordon, Georgia, the regiment became part of the 82nd Infantry Division, a division that drew its men from across the nation, earning the nickname All-American. The 328th was heavily composed of men from Vermont, giving the regiment a unique regional identity within the diverse 82nd. Training was fast and unforgiving. Rifle marksmanship, bayonet drill, gas mask exercises, trench construction, and the modern tools of industrial warfare. Within a year, the regiment crossed the Atlantic, headed for some of the most decisive battles of the First World War. The regiment entered combat in September 1918 during the San Miguel Offensive, the first major American-led operation in Europe. Mud, rain, barbed wire, and German artillery greeted the novice soldiers. They advanced through shattered villages and broken fields, gaining the first of the regiment's battlefield experience. Although the operation was brief, the 328th proved its discipline and fighting spirit, qualities that would be tested to the limit only weeks later. The regiment's most famous actions came during the Meuse-Argonne offensive, the largest American battle of World War I. In the dense forests and ravines of the Argonne, the 328th faced machine gun nests, snipers, entrenched positions, and some of the most desperate German resistance of the war. Within this brutal campaign came a legendary moment. Corporal, later Sergeant, Alvin C. York, of the 328th G Company, captured 132 German soldiers in a single action after neutralizing multiple machine gun positions. His courage brought worldwide attention to the regiment and earned him the Medal of Honor. The 328th continued fighting relentlessly until the armistice on 11th of November 1918, closing out the war as one of the division's hardest fighting units. After the war, the regiment returned home and was demobilized in May 1919. In the interwar years, it was reorganized in the Organized Reserves, maintaining the lineage and traditions of its World War I legacy. Officers and enlisted reservists continued to train periodically, preparing for a conflict that the world hoped would never come again. But by 1942, the world was once again at war, and the 328th would be reborn for a new fight. The regiment was reactivated in March 1942, again assigned to the now famous 82nd Infantry Division. However, the division was soon transformed into the 82nd Airborne Division, and its previous infantry regiments were reassigned, partially creating the 328th Glider Infantry Regiment. As such, the 328th Infantry Regiment became part of the 26th Infantry Division, the Yankee Division, composed largely of soldiers from New England, in many ways returning the regiment to its regional identity. Training took place across the United States. Maneuvers in the Carolinas, long marches, field exercises, live fire drills, and the endless cycle of preparation needed for modern mechanized warfare. The 328th landed in France in September 1944, entering combat during the Lorraine Campaign. Here, the regiment encountered fortified German positions, thick mud, worsening weather, and fierce resistance as the enemy fought to protect the approaches to the German border. The 328th advanced through villages and forests, breaching defenses and pushing the enemy back step by step, often at close range. Men who had trained for 2 years were finally facing the reality of battle: artillery barrages, minefields, ambushes, and the bitter struggle for every mile. In December 1944, the Germans launched their massive Ardennes counteroffensive, the Battle of the Bulge. The 26th Infantry Division was rushed into action, and the 328th was thrown into the fight around Bastogne, Filz, and the surrounding Luxembourg countryside. The regiment endured freezing temperatures, deep snow, and fierce German attempts to break through American lines. Their defense helped contain the advance, buying critical time for reinforcements and contributing to the eventual collapse of the German offensive. Through exhaustion, hunger, and the brutal cold, the 328th held on, one of the many unsung infantry regiments whose determination turned the tide in the Ardennes. When the Allied forces resumed their advance in early 1945, the 328th pushed eastward through the Saar region, then into central Germany. They cleared towns, captured strongpoints, dismantled pockets of resistance, and liberated communities long under Nazi rule. By the time Germany surrendered in May 1945, the regiment had fought continuously across Lorraine, Luxembourg, and Germany. A hard, determined campaign that tested every soldier. After occupation duties, the regiment returned home and was inactivated in December 1945.